Awesome. Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. It is Monday, April 28th, 2025. It is the year of 789, and I'm back, y'all. I've missed y'all. It's been a minute since I've done a live stream or connected with my She's Restored family. It's been a lot that's been going on in my life. Thus, the inspiration for this new series that I'm bringing you as we leave April and transcend, transfer, transport, whatever you want to use, into May. Transition is the word, y'all, for me. Transition. Yeah, that's my son, y'all. He texted me. Anyways, I am back. Some of you that have been with me for a little bit, you recognize this background. Y'all, I'm back in a familiar space. This is take two. This is the second act. This is picking up where I left off. That's where I'm at, y'all. And with that, I'm bringing you this new series that I'm titling Blooming in the spirit of spring, in the spirit of flowers and rain and growth, leaving the winter blues behind and moving into spring, which is a season of change, growth, joy. So I have 4 classes to this series, and kind of started writing it over the weekend, and I've solidified it today. Today's lesson is blooming in the roadside. Hi, welcome everyone. Good to see you in the chat. Please let me know if you can hear me okay, because once I start talking I forget, but hopefully we're good to go. Blooming in the roadside. This is inspired by my recent week of moving again. Moving interstate, y'all. So I, this time around, was not the driver. I was actually the passenger, which was beautiful and fun and amazing, because usually I'm in the driver's seat. So it was a nice break from that. It gave me a lot of time to reflect on the changes in my life and the journey, and both the rear view mirror of my journey so far and, you know, looking ahead to where I'm going. Awesome. Awesome. Welcome. Welcome all the way from England. So yeah, so that's the inspiration to tonight's teaching, Blooming in the Roadside. So one of the things that I've been learning in this, just this week, y'all, and it's been a crazy week for me, of transition and a lot of unexpected things. And then it's also been beautiful and peaceful and calm. So it's been 7 days, literally almost to the day, because today's Monday, of all of it. And I feel like, as many of you know that have been with me for a while, I teach from testimony most of the time, because it's fresh and I'm going through it, or I just recently went through it. So hopefully I can impart some encouragement and inspiration and maybe a little bit of wisdom. Oh, thank you so much. Welcome to the channel, and I hope this channel blesses you. By the way, I did post in the chat, if y'all are interested in donating to my channel, my family can definitely benefit from this right now. It's just a difficult season for us. So I would greatly appreciate that. If God puts that on your heart, I gladly welcome your donations. So let's get started. And again, this is going to be probably 4 weeks. So as we're moving into May, most of May, and it's going to connect all of it together. And I think tonight I'm just going to kind of overview it and open the door for us. So you'll have to watch the next 3 weeks to get the full scope and picture of this teaching. But tonight's teaching is blooming in the roadside, or on the roadside, depending on how you want to look at this. So when we think of road trips, I think that's probably the best description I'm going to give us. A road trip, there's a lot of variables to this, especially if it's a long road trip, which is something that I just came out of. Again, I moved interstate, so it's a long one. It was a couple of days of travel. So I'm going to give us some words to kind of pull from to get us going. So we have driver. Obviously, someone needs to spearhead this journey and take us there. Passenger, those of us who get to enjoy the ride and take some time to reflect. Sights, especially if it is cross country or something like that, you are going to see a lot of different sights along the way, and the different states they're going through, some of the landmarks, depending on which route you would take. Exits, obviously, can't stay on the road forever. Detours, not so fun on that one. But there's always detours, y'all. In any road trip, you're gonna have detours. And then, of course, the destination. So this is, where am I going? And usually you'll know this before you're gonna take a road trip. You know exactly where you're gonna go, unless you're just going for fun. But tonight's teaching, I'm teaching you more about the whole thing. So let's start with destination. And this is actually, I was just reflecting over some of the stuff that I was teaching throughout the year, which, by the way, I think I have it scheduled for us. I'm going to do a live stream on, I think I titled it April Flowers and Showers. I think that's what it was. So before I end April, which is probably going to be tomorrow, I'm going to share sort of an overview of this year and some of the words that were in my spirit. And one of them is destination, because this is very, very important that we have a scope of where we're going. I teach this all the time. If you don't know your vision for your life, or you don't have a focal point of what you're doing or where you're going or what it is that you want to do with your time, it's going to be very challenging for you to be at peace. First of all, be at peace, because you don't know from one day to the next what it is you're doing, and that's very stressful. To have a sense of purpose. If you don't have a sense of purpose, most likely you'll be bored or just stressed out and frustrated because you don't know what you're doing, okay? So destination is part of the journey of life, and hopefully y'all have that figured out, and if not, hopefully this inspires you a little bit. Hello, welcome. Good to see y'all. Okay, so my destination, even if it is a temporary destination, which a lot of us that are moving into establishment and complete restoration, we have a destination. Some of us are aware of what our destination is, and some of us are still waiting on a confirmation from the Lord about what that is. The destination essentially is my arrival, where I am scheduled or destined to land, to settle, and to get established. So from the start, I'm going to say this because this is so paramount to remember. And I really feel like this has definitely encouraged me to stay focused. Or I should say, to stay encouraged in the journey is some of us are moving into establishment. This is a permanence in our life, whether, again, mental, emotional, physical, personal life, work life, family life, whatever it is for you. God has been either working behind the scenes, or he's been very, very obvious about what he's doing in your life, and he's been preparing you, especially as I shared over the last 3 years. This has been a space of time that he's been working in us. So everything that's happened in your life is by design, okay? The detours, the unexpected, you know, getting off the road to exit because you missed your turn, you missed your exit, you missed your whatever it is. I'm going to connect all of these dots for us, by the way. It's all by design, especially if you're yielded to God's will for your life. Okay, so perhaps this is probably going to resonate more for those of us that are, but even if you're not and you're trying to figure out, where am I going? What is my destination? And am I ready to go through all of the things that comes with getting on the road, going on this trip? Okay, do I have a question? Oh, I appreciate that. Yes, thank you for saying that. I think you're right on that. I've always believed in just organic growth, and I've always just shared on my channel as I feel inspired and led. But I do appreciate everyone that's here, all the support. I see all as family. So whether we have 200 subscribers or 2,000, I'm very blessed and very thankful, but I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. Okay, so destination. Do you know your destination? Do you know where you're going? These days, of course, most of us use GPS in our phones, Google Maps, or whatever it is that you have. So we can essentially just go on our phone and type in where I want to go, and our phone will do it for us and show us the way. Now, back in the day, before my time as well, actually, you would have to look at a giant road map and try and figure it out on your own, hope for the best. But these days, it's pretty simple to put in an address and follow the instructions to get there. In the same way, you can randomly think of somewhere you want to go and hope for the best, not really knowing if that's what you want or not. Or you can spend time with the one who has the best route for your life and seek him on how to get there. My experience has been, and I've been on both ends of the spectrum, my experience has been that trusting God's plan and route for my life, even with the challenges, even with the delays, um, is much better and much safer. It gives me peace of mind. It gives me clarity and hope. And that's what I'm hoping for you as well. So destination is important from my starting point. Now you must discern, where are you starting from? And what space are you in? Are you driving or are you the passenger? I'm going to liken this to the seasons in our life when God is, and actually I just shared this recently, where I'm balancing working and resting. When I come to a harmonious space of work and rest that's actually healthy, then I have peace in what I'm doing. In other words, if I am working diligently, I'm disciplined, I'm focused on what it is that I need to be doing when it comes to my vision, my calling, my purpose, my assignment, the workload that I have, all of that. And I'm doing it in a healthy way. That is to say, I'm not overdoing it. I'm not a workaholic. I'm not running myself ragged, doing more than I can handle, saying yes to everything and not having boundaries. You know, versus the opposite end, which is I'm not doing anything. I don't even have discipline to even work. Okay, so we must come to this beautiful space of balance. Okay, so I know when I need to rest and I know when I need to work. In the same way, when it comes to the destination of life, the journey of life, I must learn to discern, is it my time to drive? That is to say, God's giving you the green light to go in a direction. In my case, the example that I have and that I'm sharing and that's inspiring this series is God gave the green light to come back to where I was before for my family's sake. And if I was not yielded and submitted to his spirit, considering all variables to my circumstance, I might have said no. But because I'm yielded to his spirit, I understand the realm of the spirit. I understand his voice. I know his voice. I know when he's leading. I had peace in making the decision to say yes, in spite of the detours, the unexpected exits and turns and all of that comes with it. And this is my hope for you, is that you're at a space of healthy discernment when it comes to God's leading. So driving, or are you driver or passenger? Again, some seasons I just need to be a passenger and let God direct and not try and be a, what do they call it, backseat driver, where, I'm trying to tell God what to do instead of just trusting him. And a lot of times that comes from being impatient, not having discipline in your emotional realm, or your, and this is easier said than done, guys, by the way, but especially if you're in seasons of flux, which I've been in, where you just feel so anxious to get there to your destination, because road trips can be uncomfortable sometimes, especially if it's a long one. At first you're excited, you're looking forward to it, or nervous, it just depends, and then you start, somewhere along the way, maybe halfway along the way, you start getting kind of tired, you're not as excited, or maybe you're in a space where the scenery is not as pretty and you just want to hurry up and get there. Okay, but we must be patient in the process. So, driver or passenger, where are you right now? Did I have another question? Yes, wonderful. That's a beautiful way to describe that. Thank you for sharing. But always, always along the way, there are sights, beautiful sights to see. God has an amazing way of, even in the midst of anything you're going through, in the midst of these, you missed your exit, you got to turn around and start over again. Or detours, maybe you were on point, you were going to get there at a certain time, but there's a detour that you didn't see coming, and all of a sudden it's slowing you down. You're not sure which way to go. In the midst of this, God is always providing a space to reflect on His peace, His beauty, His mercy, His grace. And if we do take the time to notice, then we can bloom in the midst of the roadside. Okay, so let me share a couple of things that I think will be helpful to get us started on this series. Number one is, if I want to see the fullness and fruition of my dream life, the life I envision for myself, for my family, number one, I must believe that it exists. Some of us aren't here yet. We don't know if what I really want in life really exists. But I'm here to tell you it does. If you can dream it up, it is within you, which means God has given that to you. God has given you by inheritance a vision for your life. And I am a messenger and an encourager to tell you that you can build your dream life. And I'm also here to tell you that it takes time. And it also requires a lot from you. One of the things that is essential, and this is not a thing, this is more an attribute, a characteristic that you must possess. And if you don't, you can cultivate it, which is the wonderful thing. But I must have steadfastness in me to see the fullness and fruition and harvest of the dream that I possess. So what does this mean? What is steadfast? It means that I don't quit no matter what. I don't quit when things get hard. I don't quit when things take time. I'm committed, I'm faithful, and I am focused. So it's a combination of faithfulness and focus, discipline, okay? So I'm loyal and I'm disciplined to see it, to get there, okay? A lot of times this is where we get stuck, and this is where we lose sight, and this is where we get off the path that was set before us. When the trials come, which is one of our teachings in this series that I'm going to get into, not today, but it's in the difficulties that we begin to lose momentum and faith and the fire that we have. If you are the type who is not very patient, by the grace of God, y'all, I have learned, and I can honestly say this has been a journey for me, is I have learned to be patient. There are some things that still are harder to be patient about, but for the most part, I feel, and it's by the grace of God. Again, this is a discipline. This is something that has to be cultivated in us as we yield to the Spirit and as God heals us and delivers us from a lot of bondages. But patience is something you must possess if you want to see what it is that you want to see. So, for today's teaching, this is the word I'm giving to you as we begin this journey, is you must learn the power of steadfastness. And again, that is staying steady no matter what. So I hope this has blessed y'all. This is a good starting point for us. Sorry, I was just looking at your question. Yes, I am a parent. And your second question is, do you prefer living? Well, I'm not at the age where I need to live with my parents. I also see God as my Heavenly Father. So I feel like in a way I'm still living with my Father. He's always taking care of me and guiding me. Thank you so much for your questions and your support. And everyone, by the way, new subscribers, I'm so happy you're here. I it's been a minute since I've done a stream, but I noticed that there's some new family members. I'm so excited. I'm glad y'all are here, and I hope that this week is rocking for us, because I feel like I'm ready to come back. I got some teachings for us. And by the way, those of you that are new, my name is Ruby. I'm a certified therapeutic art life coach. I do one-to-one sessions, inner healing therapeutic art. I also do life coaching for artists and musicians who are trying to figure out how to get themselves fully living in their dream life as an artist. So if you're interested, you can go to my description and sign up for a one-to-one session, or any of my classes that I teach Mondays through Fridays. I'm also here on YouTube doing a lot of live streams and uploading teachings. So feel free to reach out. Also, if you're looking for learning new language, specifically Spanish or English, you can reach out to me as well. I do Spanish tutoring, English tutoring. But I will be back tomorrow with our kind of 2025 overview. I think I called it April Showers. April Flowers and Showers, something like that. I'm gonna give you all a little bit of prophetic insight for the rest of the year. And yeah, hope y'all are doing well, and I will be back mañana. I think I already posted what time, so y'all can sign up or hit the notification bell, and be prepared for a good word tomorrow. Love y'all, and I will be back tomorrow. Have a good rest of the night. Bye.